So you want to start reading your first book faster, or you've done it a few times perhaps, and thinking, how do I do it correctly and not screwed up? What is the biggest mistake managers do when they trying to read it faster? Here is the most common mistakes that managers do when they're trying to read faster any kind of material, wherever it is a long email or a book, whatever they have just started to read at a faster reading speed, or done it hundreds of times. And 3 tricks to prevent it. I'm Peter Sefkovs, and I went from hating books to reading 184 books in a year. Now I can choose read faster and finish book in an hour. And if you want just to start reading your first book faster and smarter, or you've done it a few times, the biggest, most common mistake any reader made is trying to read every single word that comes under their eyes. Of course, if you're trying to memorize some of the key information for the exam, or perhaps for the presentation on the manager's meeting, this is not a big deal. We have read word by word. We have done that. We all done that. But if you're talking about reading word by word in a whole chapter, or even a paragraph or any material, that is the difference between slow manager reader and a fast manager reader. And anyone is doing this mistake. Not only managers who don't know how to read faster, but also managers who know how to read fast. Since you're here, I'm going to let you on a little secret about my experience. In the past, every time I was trying to read faster, it only lasted for about 10 minutes or so. After that, I was going into the old habits of reading word after word. Until one day I searched and answer came up. I was finally realized that what I was doing wrong. Here are the top 3 tricks that will help you never make that mistake, and if at all possible. Unless you of course start reading word by word because you actually choose to do it. Trick number 1. Remember that every book is made pretty much in the same layout as any other book. You have an acknowledgement, an introduction, a forwards, a recommendations, and all this other kind of information that is not really directly related to the material, which we don't have to read in full. And also we have an introduction, then chapters, and after that we have a conclusion. So in trick 1 we are concentrating on the background knowledge by looking through these places first, for things like general understanding of the topic and the author's point of view and so forth. This is related to articles, newspapers, and other kind of reading material. And it does not matter if you're reading in an old-fashioned way on paper or digitally. Those principles remain the same. So trick number 2 for not trying to read all material word by word when trying to read faster is that you have to be able to identify keywords and key phrases in any sentence. What are the keywords and key phrases? There is a whole video on this topic which you can watch after, but for now just identify that they are important. Trick number 3, do a selective reading, which means you'll have to select the correct area of paragraph which you have to read word by word, and which you can just skip safely, and other parts you just select some of the words to read. These are the processes. So trick number 1, do a selective reading, which means that you have to select the correct area of a paragraph which to read word by word, and which sentences you can skip or read just key words or phrases. There is a process for this, right? So, and if you are up to this challenge where you learn how to do a selective reading, keywords and key phrases, then sign up for this free challenge by clicking the link below, and I will hold your hand throughout the process. So here you have it, the 3 tricks which is remembering about the structures of the reading material, and then of course the reading keywords and phrases while doing selective reading. And that will keep you reading faster and let you avoid mistake that most readers do. I hope you can see that this pattern, and it's all about the repetition. It's all about the repetition. Getting the areas of the reading material right even before you actually start reading. Well, this is no exception and really a repetition of the process over and over with each book and each chapter and each paragraph in a consistent way. And you've done it even before you start reading it, right? So now every time I'm about to read something, I'm thinking about these three key things over and over: where I get my background knowledge that can be used in understanding this material, what are the keywords and phrases are being used, and what are the areas I can skip safely. So do that every time you're picking any material, day and night. Want to make sure that you know these three things before you start reading. If you have a trick or tip on how to not read every word, please write in the comment below and I will always read and answer your comments. And don't forget to subscribe for the channel, because I'm always here coming up with the new videos about how to read faster as a manager. See you the next time.